Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. Cybertron Weekly is your central hub for everything Transformers.
Oh, hey, what's this Lamppost doing? It's strange, betcha. That's more than meets the eye. Soundwave a Boombox, not a Lamppost.
Soundwave superior.
You suck.
Hey, Boombox, kick it.
Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're going to take a look at another Transformers Siege figure. It's Soundwave. So I found this guy at my local Walmart, was really surprised to see him there. They had this guy and they had Starscream, and that's all they had of Wave 2. Unfortunately, didn't have any of the smaller figures. And I was looking for Ironhide and Prowl. They didn't have him. And I've yet to see a Shockwave, which is, a bit unfortunate. But this was a must pick up for me. I'm a huge Soundwave fan. Was one of my favorite toys as a kid. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have a Soundwave in the packaging, and this is what we've gotten in Wave 1, so it's no surprise that we see it again in Wave 2. Now, the one cool thing about this figure I've seen online, we've got the ship mode that's official that we'll take a look at, obviously, but there are also two alternate unofficial modes. He can turn into the little light post that we get on Cybertron from the original Transformers cartoon, and he can also turn into a Boombox, which is very fun. I'm just kind of sad that he didn't come with like Laserbeak and Ravage. That would have been cool. Or maybe Buzzsaw. Maybe just have him come with Buzzsaw like the original toy did. That would have been nice. And you know what? I would have given an extra $10 to have him come with Buzzsaw. And of all these figures that they've called leader class that have basically been about this size but no more complex, I would not have mind paying the $50 to get this guy plus all the cassettes and make him a leader figure. So I don't know why they did that. Well, I do. They can make more money by selling the tapes in individual sets. And of course, we're going to get a blaster redo of this figure, and I'm okay with that. Looking at it on the offset, man, there's a lot of the damage on this figure, which I don't know if I like or don't. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yeah, very interesting, but it says Transformers, Siege, Soundwave. We get the Decepticon logo, like we usually get. We get some nice G1 style artwork, and I love how he's got the yellow eyes. From the G1 toy. A lot of people were complaining about that, but I'm all about it. And I knock him over. Sorry, buddy. Side of the package is a little dented on mine, but that's okay because I'm going to rip it out of the box. But yeah, definitely cool. Here's a close-up. Very fun. Very cool. Definitely digging it. Loving this artwork right there. That'd be a fun poster. There's the top. Right there, and then of course we get this here. Again, I keep saying that's a poster waiting to happen. Hopefully they do that. That'd be very fun. And then back of the package shows him in his robot mode and his ship mode, and it looks like it's got the nacelles from the Enterprise, which is very weird. And then it's got the play gimmick with the little Battle Masters, which I still need to pick some up. And then it shows Micro Masters, Laserbeak and Ravage, and how they can attach not only into the tape deck, but onto his arms. Which is weird. Sure, why not? Yeah, so here's a look at the back of the box. Very cool, very fun. Not digging the ship mode too much, but yeah, we get two other modes. But yeah, look at that. That's weird. I don't know. I guess we'll see once I actually get to pick some of those up. But yeah, definitely liking him thus far. And I'm digging the fact that he and Starscream have light piping again. So that's cool to see come back. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. Let's go ahead and get Soundwave out of package and see what we think. So here we have Soundwave out of the packaging, and I like this figure a lot, mainly for the robot mode. I'm not a fan of the spaceship mode. I like the fact we've got an unofficial Lamppost mode and an unofficial Boombox mode, but the Boombox could be better. But as a kid, I had a G1 Soundwave, and it was one of my favorite toys, and the head unfortunately popped off, so I always love getting Soundwave, and I'm always afraid of popping his head off, like I did the old G1 toy. But this thing's got a lot of G1 to him. He's got the battery missile launcher up here. He's got the battery gun there, which is nice. He's got the yellow eyes like he did back in the day. He's got the play gimmick where that push that button down and that pops open. All the play buttons look nice. He does have some backpack going on here, which is interesting for Soundwave. The old original one had been nice if these panels would have opened up and you could have stored the batteries in there. That would have been cool. You can peg the batteries on the back if you so desire. Now, as far as articulation goes on this guy, his head does move back and forth. It does look up and down. He can't look this way with the battery pack there. His arms do move up and down. They go out all the way up. There's a twist at the upper arm. There is a double jointed, yeah, it is a double jointed elbow, which is nice. The hands do move inward, but that's mainly for transformation. However, he does have his little finger out so he can push the button up there, which is nice. He's got waist articulation, which is very cool. He can kick, if you move the panel piece up here, he can kick up that far. He can kick all the way back. He can kick all the way out that way. There is a twist at the upper leg, which is nice. He's got a really nice knee joint, which is very, very cool. His feet move just ever so slightly, and they've got that crazy ankle rocker pivot we love! With this being his widest possible stance with both feet still flat on the floor. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I adore the sculpt on this figure. I mean, it screams Soundwave. The fact we get the light piping back is great. I love the yellow eyes. It's very G1 toy. I like the tape deck there, the button, the shoulder cannon. It's got the old school battery cannon there, which is nice. The jet thing is kind of hanging on the back of the figure, which I don't particularly care for. And then we have these little gun mounts from the jet mode just kind of hanging back there. They're really pretty much worthless. But the front of the figure, I mean, it's got the G1 aesthetic down. There's a little bit too much of the battle damage on the cassette deck for me, but it looks okay. I like how it's got the gold. The Decepticon logo is beautiful. Overall, it's a well-done figure. So taking a look at the midsection of the figure, I love the fact he's got the little finger on the left arm that's kind of extended so he can hit the eject button. I like the gray on the forearms with the red stripe. He's got the play buttons down on his crotch. The other gun turns into, or the other battery turns into the gun, just like the old toy did. Again, we get more of the kind of spaceship stuff on the back. Not a lot of empty spaces on this figure, which is very, very nice. I do appreciate that. He's got that secondary gun. I don't particularly care for that, but it does kind of turn into a telescoping gun, which is pretty cool. I definitely dig the playability to it. It just, it kind of hangs on the backpack in my shelf. And finally, taking a look at the legs on the figure. Again, I'm digging the sculpt. I like the paintwork, especially on the legs here. The red and the gold look really nice, kind of coming off there. The black and the paint damage on the black looks good with the silver. He's got the gray feet, very stable feet. I'm definitely digging that. The fact that the legs have absolutely no gappage anywhere is very, very nice. So that was very cool how they designed the legs. And again, it's a very stable figure. The battle damage paint looks pretty decent here. It's not overly excessive like up on the tape deck. And I don't know, there's something about those buttons on his knees I just really dig. For comparison, here we have Soundwave with his wavemate Starscream, and these guys look really good together side by side. Megatron's lieutenants. I love them together. Cannot wait to get more of the Seekers, and I really want a Sound Blaster repaint of this guy, Soundwave here, and you know, we're going to get a blaster out of this mold as well. Here we have Soundwave in his spaceship mode, and yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess. I'm not a real fan of this alt mode. I prefer the alternate fan-made modes of the Boombox and the Lamppost. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. It's got these little, I guess, engine pieces that kind of hang up there. They kind of remind me of the nacelles from the Starship Enterprise, which is kind of interesting. I do like how it's got this little itty-bitty tiny canopy right there. And the overall look kind of, I guess, mimics the ship that Unicron gave Galvatron in Transformers the movie. Now, it does have some little guns that can pop down here and here. These are about the only things I can even think that these little bits on the shoulders are even for. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. It's just not the best. So here we have Soundwave in one of his unofficial alt modes. It's the Lamppost, the Cybertronia mode from the original G1 series, and you know what? This actually looks pretty decent. I like this a lot. It's got the nice little arc right there. It kind of covers a lot of the gappage, which is kind of nice. Now, I did put the one of the gun pieces up here at the top to kind of fill in some gappage, I guess. You don't have to put that there if you don't want to. You could easily take that off and have it go that way, but I like to be able to complete everything on there. You could also, if you wanted to, I suppose, use it as an antenna piece on the Lamppost itself. So maybe you want to add like a little antenna or camera. You could do that if you so wanted to. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm just going to put it back where it was because I kind of like it there. Again, it kind of eats up some of this gappage at the top and just kind of fills it out and, you know, lets it complete the whole ensemble. Now, there's a few variations out there on how you can do this. Some people take the arms and push them back here. Some people take the leg pieces here and bend them down like that. So it looks like that. I personally don't care for that. I like the pieces folded upward like thus. Kind of gives it more of a uniform look. And what you want to do when you fold in the feet, make sure if you look, his feet are angled, so you want to spin the top of the body around so that the cockpit is there at the crotch, and then you've got the play buttons on the back. So that way, if you look, it angles because you're going to lean this forward. It's going to balance it out, and it balances really well. And then on the back side, I just plopped the batteries onto the rockets just to kind of put them there and store them in this mode. But yeah, overall, I think this looks pretty good, and, well, it reminds me of that very first episode of The Transformers. So here we have Soundwave in his Boombox mode, and it's a little wonky. If you look, I use the back end to kind of stabilize it a little bit. There's a few variations that I have found on the internet. This is probably my personal favorite. You can, if you want to adjust this around. Some people pull the arms up, but the issue is this piece never really comes flush with the sides. And knowing that people are going to want this to turn into a boombox, I think they would have been better off to engineer it so they actually did it versus giving us this kind of quasi boombox, but I guess it works. So basically, if you look, I've got the chest kind of pushed back a little bit, the legs are up, I moved the arms around to the back, and then I use the nacelles from the Spaceship to kind of stabilize the boombox so that it pretty much sits upright, and yeah, there it is. If you have found a better way to get this guy into the boombox mode, I would love to take a look at it. Go over to my Facebook page, add some pictures on the link to this video, or link your videos down below. So is Soundwave from Transformers Siege a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? I'm going to say yes, but I'm a huge Soundwave fan. This was one of my first Transformers when I was a kid. I like the look. I like the fact we got the light piping back. He's got the yellow eyes like the original G1 toy. He comes with his battery weapons, which is cool. He turns into a really goofy spaceship that I just don't really care for, but we get a pretty good Cybertronian Lamppost mode, which I do like that, considering these are supposed to be Cybertron versions of the Transformers, and we kind of get a Boombox mode. I think it would have been better if we got an actual official Boombox mode, but the fact that Laserbeak and Ravage can fit into the guy is very nice. Overall, I like it. The paint's a little excessive in some of the spots, but it poses well. It looks good, at least in the robot mode, and I'm happy with it. So, yeah, it is what it is. So there he is, Soundwave. Hopefully we get a sound blaster for this guy. I just kind of thought of that. That'd be a lot of fun. And you know we're going to get a repaint with Blaster. So anyway, there he is, Soundwave from Transformers Siege, War for Cybertron.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.